Number 21, Mike Kotsar, that gentleman in your screens right there, is now available. In the last 2 days, actually their last 2 games, he was unavailable. So that's actually one of the main reasons why they haven't been performing, because when you don't have your man in the middle who stands 6'11", that's going to be a real big cause for concern. On the other hand, you have the lineup here of coach Atsushi Ono, Yante Mate number 1. They have number 2, David Nwaba. They also have number 23, David Dudzinski, and number 24, Ryosei Sasaki as their main men. So first to be introduced, as is customary, are the visitors. The notables, of course, for the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS, number 4, Damien Inglis, number 8, Gary Clark, number 15, Kiefer Ravena. But at the same time, we're not exactly sure if he'll be available. He was also, together with Mike Kotsar, was not available. And looking at the lineup submitted, there is going to be no Kiefer Ravena once again here tonight for the B-CORSAIRS. That's a bit of a concern. So all the other guards will have to step up. But at least they got a complete complement of world imports. That's important. But definitely with Kiefer Ravena there, leading the charge offensively and defensively, they're a much more potent unit. So here, the B-CORSAIRS at the Yokohama Bontai. A little bit of fanfare first before we have the introduction of both lineups. You can see there number 2. That's a late addition here to the Yokohama squad, Riku Sasayama.
Thank you, Beatles.
He had a very good outing the last time out. You can see there, 4 out of 5 from the field. He actually came on late in the second half when he delivered all those points. Unfortunately for him and Yokohama, it was in a losing cause. On the other side, number 5, Sota Ora for the San NEOPHOENIX. One of their more notable players. He can hit it from deep, and at the same time, he's one of the toughest defenders you're going to find here in the league. And now we have the starters for the San NEOPHOENIX.
Number 10, Yoshi Hirotaka. Number 24, Sasaki Ryusei. Number 28, Tsuya Kazuma. Head coach.
And there you have the starters. Number 1, Yante Maten. They have number 2, David Nwaba. They also have number 10, Hirotaka Yoshii. Number 24, Ryosei Sasaki, their starting point guard. And finally, rounding out their first 5 is number 28. That is Kazuma Tsuya. There's Coach Ono. And now we have the starters for the B-CORSAIRS. So they have number 8, Gary Clark. Number 18, Kenta Morii. Number 21, he's back. Mai Kotsar. Number 24, Hiroki Matsuzaka, the three-point gunner. And finally, they have number 30, Koya Sudo. There's Coach Lassie Tuovi. Both teams want to stop these losing streaks. But more important, of course, for the San NEOPHOENIX, who are going to be able to make it to the playoffs. As we take a look at our three referees, we've got referee Kano, referee Hayasaki, and referee Wajima. But don't tell that to the B-CORSAIRS, because as far as they're concerned, winning is still a priority for them, despite the fact that they know they're not qualifying for the next phase of competition. Once again, the starters, the B-CORSAIRS, with Clark, Morii, Kotsar, Matsuzaki, and Sudo. For the NEOPHOENIX, it's Maten, Enwaba, Yoshii, Sasaki, and Tsuya. And that's going to usher in the start of the game here at the Yokohama Buntai. Good evening once again, and thank you so much for joining us here for B-League action. We're winding down the regular season, and then things are going to get ramped up. Just like what's happening in the NBA. Just the past weekend, the NBA playoffs have begun. And the playoffs here in the B-League will begin in about a week and a half. But before that, let's enjoy this matchup between Yokohama and Sanen. And you're going to see just how much these two squads will want the victory. Yokohama not wanting to lose another game here in front of their fans. Sanen not wanting to lose another game as they're gearing up for the playoffs. First possession to the B-CORSAIRS. Matsuzaki on the outside. They give it up. Gary Clark. Let's see how active he can be here. There are times he doesn't get off to a good start. Koya Sudo will come up short on that 3 attempt. Waba, a high flyer. Now with the basketball. Tries to look for his main man inside the paint, Yanten Maten. Gary Clark being very active defensively. Baseline inbound. Courtesy of Sasaki. Wanting to stop anything coming towards the basket. Almost a steal. Steal is completed. Mai Kotsar. He had a teammate off to the side, but he said, I'm 6'11", let me put this through. It's 2-0 here for Yokohama to start things off after a live turnover for the NEOPHOENIX. A lot of times, you don't want to give that kind of a pass coming from the baseline that can get picked off, and that's exactly what happened here. That's why you have players coming towards the ball. And get into his position. Yoshii tries to kiss it off the glass, just short. Yoshii is 6'5". Usually can shoot above all of his defenders. Just misfired there. Morii, one of the league leaders in terms of assists. Matsuzaki gets hacked. He turned the corner, had a direct line to the hoop. He'll head to the line for 2 shots. Duty foul there from Sasaki. Check that. That was Tsuya. His first. Three to nothing now. Pretty good sized crowd here for a Wednesday night. Middle of the week game. Too short in the second one. Clark will get it. He gets denied though. And Nwaba with his first block. 3-0's the lead. On the outside, Nwaba. They find Matten. He finds a triple team. Kicks it out. Open three. No. Clark goes to Kotsar. And again, Enwaba getting in between that one. Foul's going to be called on Matsuzaki as he just tries to stop the action. But already two good defensive plays by Enwaba. That's great individual defense. Sasaki looking for space, gets the layup. Two minutes gone here in the opening period. 3-2 is our tally. Mai Kotsar with a second back. He's got two baskets and it is now 5-2. 4 points for Mai. They go inside. Matten. That's gonna drop. Matten cannot be stopped even by a double team. Sudo held on to him already. Still got it off. First personal foul going to be called on Koya. Matten looking to tie things up here. Gets the shooter's roll. It's 5-all. 3 points now for Yante Matten. Clark to push forward. Clark will give it up. Not wanting to attack Matten. They're trying to clear out space inside. Stepping into that jumper, a little bit too strong there for Koya. This early, already 3 team fouls for the B-CORSAIRS. That has been one of their main problems here this season. Early foul trouble. Tsuya for 3. A little bit too strong. One and done on the offense here of the boys in white. To the delight of Coach Lasituovi. Going inside. Ooh, there was a lot of contact there. Morii. Quick seal. Look at Matten. Just carving out space. And it's now a 2-point lead for the visitors at 7-5. Coach will bring it down. That's a great pass. Matsuzaki gets away. We're tied at 7. First assist for Mai Kotsar, the big man who loves to find his open teammates. Tsuya. They swing things around. Matten on the outside. Enwaba. Pocket pass inside. Overshooting there is Matten. Well, the referees are being very consistent though. They're allowing a lot of banging. There's another one. Well, from a coach's standpoint, even from a player standpoint, you just want to beat them. You just want them to be consistent. Enwaba. Inside. The reach in there. It's going to be the first personal foul on Kenta. And now, the B-CORSAIRS are in the penalty with still 5:55 remaining. Jamie Inglis coming in for the first time. First personal foul on Kenta. There's Inglis. Inglis is a 3-level scorer, but likes to operate usually from within 15 feet. Takeru Oba checking in for the first time. Another one of those individuals that can light it up from the outside. And Oba's going to give his team the 1-point lead. 8-7. David Dudzinski also in the ball game here for Coach Ono. That's going to be another layup. Porous defense inside that shaded lane. Seesaw affair we've got here. 9-8. Yokohama on top. 3-pointer's gonna drop there. That's what Sasaki can do. He's got the speed and he's also got the shooting touch. He's the complete package. Clark from the outside. Can't ring the bell. Poor pass. It's going to be turnover number 3 here for the San NEOPHOENIX. Could it be a layup? Yes, it is. Again. Once again, we are deadlocked at 11. Halfway past. Quarter number 1. And Waba. We look inside. Short. Nika Williams, the veterans, in for the first time. Blew that layup, but nonetheless, they're still going to get the 2 points. Up by 2 once again are the visitors. The curl. Takeru scores. That's what's important for Yokohama. You've got to stay in step as long as you possibly can. Williams will overshoot. Lava still battling. Dudzinski sets the pick. Shot clock is at 4. They're gonna force this one up. 24-second shot clock violation. Sasaki saying he got hit. Well, again, as we just mentioned, our referees are allowing a lot of pushing, a lot of tugging, so the players need to adjust. Coming in for the first time, Sota Ora, who we talked about during the pregame. Clark will bring it up. With a handoff, they like the ball in the hands of Murii. Takeru turns, puts up a 3, back rims that one. What a rebound there from Clark. That long rebound. We'll get him that rebound, but it's not a shooting foul. Only the second team foul here for the San NEOPHOENIX. But look at this leap coming from Clark over the outstretched arms of Dudzinski. First personal foul, though, is going to be called on number 20. That is Nemoto. Dai Nemoto. Jumper's going to drop. Inglis with the first basket. He was saying he got held. Again, these players need to start to adjust. Unless it's obvious, referees are going to let them play on. Second personal foul going to be called there, though, on Matsuzaki. He's going to have to hit the bench as Yoshii troops to the 15-foot line. Kai King in for the first time. Yoshi's going to make the first. Dai Nemoto, one of the late additions here for the San NEOPHOENIX as they try to make a push for the playoffs. .3:22 still to be played in the opening period. Split from the line. And the B-CORSAIRS still with a 1-point lead. Already 3 turnovers for the visitors. 1 for Yokohama. Almost a steal. Inglis will bring it closer. And he'll get away. That's too easy. A 3-point lead here for the B-CORSAIRS. They'll bring it back out. Ora. Ora sets up. Puts up a 3. A little bit too strong. Dudzinski. The offensive rebound. He'll set the pick. Not going to be used though. Another possession. Why not look for David? David's a great three-point shooter. Yoshii will try to force the issue. Maybe not the best of decisions. Asking for a foul, but again, you have to adjust to how the referees are calling this game. Inglis try to back down Dudzinski. Here he has the advantage. Spots the cutting by Kotsar. Kotsar now with 6 points. This is now the biggest lead in the contest at 19-4. 19-14. For a 5-point advantage. Off and running. Sudo! Boy, Dudzinski just gave him that one. And now a timeout will be called. Coach Ono has seen enough. Just too many layups here this afternoon. Chance of defense. Their squad is up by 7, 21-14. And the pass will go awry. Another turnover here. Well, he learned. That's the newcomer, Nemoto. I'll bring it down. Under a minute and a half remaining here in the first. Inglis will bring it closer. He actually had the three. Fall away from 17 won't work. Another offensive rebound, but it's not going to drop. Those are the shots that they really have to put down. They have to make as much distance between themselves and the San NEOPHOENIX, because this is what they can do. The San NEOPHOENIX can get on a roll. That's why they have the second best record in the league at 44-10. Kotsar on the outside. He still hold on to it. That's a great pass. Inglis moving so well without the basketball. Slips under. And the lead, once again, is increased. Back up to 7. Under 30 seconds to be played here. Aura looking for space. That's an open shot. Nemoto. Yes! Well, the youngster can definitely shoot. It's his decision making, really, that needs a little refinement. Lead cut down to 4. Inglis from deep. Good line, just short. And that's how we're going to end first quarter hostilities. So far, so good for the home squad as Yokohama leads 23-19. Second quarter is underway here as we welcome everybody back to the Yokohama Buntai, our venue for tonight's B-League action, and it's a good one. We've got the San NEOPHOENIX with the second best record in the league, looking to be able to solidify their position. That is what he can do. He's a high flyer. David Nwaba gets his first 2 points, and he cuts the lead down to 2. 23-21 is our tally. Inglis left wide open, puts up a 3, hits. As we mentioned, he is a 3-level scorer. He already has 9 points. And the second quarter has just opened. Trying to push. Open 3. Short that time. Pretty good shot there from Asai. Another one of the late additions to the San N squad, Hidea Asai. And now there's going to be a head coach challenge. That's an early challenge. Let's take a look what they were challenging here. Is it just a possession? Really hard to tell. As it stands, it's a 5-point lead for Yokohama. They've led majority of the ball game, though the NEOPHOENIX have actually led at one stage at 7-5. That's a quick review. And let's see what they're going to say. It's possession. So yes, they were challenging the possession. Early challenge here from Coach Ono. That's Asai. Stretching himself there. Sasaki puts up a 3, backrims that one. Battle for the boards, falls in the hands of Kai King. Another defensive stop put together here. So far so good for the home squad. But again, sustaining this effort has been their main problem. Nice look there, Coach Lassie. They get it inside. Back to Murii. Murii short there, not long too. Saki now into the front court. They're spreading it out, four corners. Back up on top. Nika Williams with a pick. Two-man game on the side. And then they go back on top. Really trying to vary their offense. There's a block there from Inglis. It's a block. And then eventually a turnover. There's that last piece of action. Asai couldn't even put it up. No more time. Nika Williams back to the bench. That was a short stint. So they want a little bit more of the veterans on the floor as Yoshi comes back in. Asai only just 22 years old. So they're just trying to really harness that talent at a young age. Clark for three. Short. Streaking away. Yoshi goes to the left hand. Will misfire though. Murii saying get to the middle. Gets it to Mike. They like the mismatch here. Double team. Not a good foul here from Tsuya. Check that. That's for Yoshii. Tsuya was the lead defender. Second personal foul on Yoshii there. Two and a half gone, just about. In the second canto. Kotsar. He's got that range. It's a little bit too strong that time. Trying to attack and Nwaba. The moment he saw Kai King on him, he said, I'm going to take this guy straight to the hoop. That's what he did. Little hesitation. And then the explosion. Two free throws now coming up for David and Nwaba. First personal foul going to be called on Kai. Is our tally. Sudo will put it up. Will come up short. Again asking for a foul. Quite surprised it's already the second period. And the players have not yet adjusted. Duty foul going to be called there to stopping the action. That will be the second team foul for the B-CORSAIRS. Coming back in, Matsuzaki, the shooter, together with Takeru Oba. So they've got two shooters on the wing here. Let's see if that opens things up for their imports inside. Back in, Sotaora. Again, chance of defense from the fans of the Yokohama Buntai. Yoshii looks inside. Matten takes his time, and he lost it though. That's very good defense individually. Usually that's 2 points for Yante. Still a 3-point lead by the B-CORSAIRS. They got possession. Still operating on the outside. Clark comes out. Not using the pick is Morii. Morii tries to kiss it off the glass a little bit. We go to the corner. And Nwaba. We try to go inside. That combination has worked out so well so far this conference. And Nwaba will kick it out. Sota Ora for 3. Yes! We're tied once again at 26. And a timeout will be called by Coach Lassie Tuovi as we see both teams tied at the moment.
Yokohama ball.
Back to the action. About a minute to be played here before we have an official timeout. Clark inside. We'll get that one to drop. 2-point lead once again for the B-CORSAIRS. First basket actually here for Gary. Breaking that deadlock, which is actually our 5th. Wow. That was an unforced turnover. You can see the bewildered look there in Coach Ono. That's turnover number 7. Morii inside. Won't get the roll. They're pushing. Nwaba should get it back. Does so. Puts up a 3. Will come up short though. With box out. Matsuzaki with the board. Clark once again. Past the halfway mark. Quarter number 2. That's another great cut. Missed opportunity there for Takeru. Still a 2-point lead by the B-CORSAIRS. And Nwaba. That's too easy. And it's a basket and 1 opportunity here for David. The moment he got the bead to the basket, they should have just let him go. That's going to bring us here to our official timeout. 4:40 remaining here in the first half. And Nwaba on the line when we come back.
前半は残り5分を切ってきました。最高の空間、最高のクラップ、最高の声を海賊たちへ送ってくださっているブースターの皆さん、ありがとうございます。さあ、バスケットカウントワンショットからのリスタート。ブースターディフェンスでさらなるさらなる波を起こしていきましょう。
And Waba completes the three-point play, but you can see there a lot of body English on that free throw. And that's a one-point lead. There's going to be a turnover this time. Off that inbound, Dudzinski goes strong, gets denied. Off on the break. That's good transition defense by the boys in white. Not yielding any fast break points. English against Dudzinski. That's another great cut and a big slam here for Gary Clark. 4 points now for Gary. Another assist for Damien. Quick three. And Kazuma hits his first bucket. He's very capable of hitting from deep. Now a 2-point lead once again for the visitors. We promised you a great game here this Wednesday evening. And these two teams delivering as promised. Fall away. Won't drop there for Inglis. And Waba will find Ora. Ora for three. Early threes. Two of them. And it's now a 5-point advantage by San En. Nothing Yokohama can do but just call this timeout. (35-30). Possession out to the B-CORSAIRS. This is a very delicate time for them. They need to be able to score here. Stay in step. Inglis. That was a well-run play coming off that timeout. They get to within 3. 11 points now here for Damien. Another deep three. That was a heat check. Not quite sure why they launched that early. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Two-man game up high. Sudo. Sudo was left wide open. He could have taken that shot. Inglis from 17. No. And Waba's going to lose it off that rebound. And the foul's going to be called on Koya Sudo. That's going to put them in the penalty again. They were in the penalty in the first quarter. with still 5:55 to go. Now they're in the penalty once again with 2:32. They didn't yield too many free throws though. But the San NEOPHOENIX still have been to the line 8 times today, shooting 75%. As they've gotten 6 points. Sasaki back. They leave Sasaki open. They're lucky there. Just short on that 3. Clark. Against Nwaba will give it up. Kai King. Back up on top to Inglis. They're spreading the floor once again with a lot of movement. Inglis left wide open. That's too easy. Cuts the lead down to 1. 13 points here for Damien. They try to go inside. Was that tipped? They say it was. Inglis is saying, let's challenge. So even without the challenge, the trail referee came in and said there was no touch. Possession back to the B-CORSAIRS. King pounded there. Gets it past the timeline safely. Boy, Nemoto is a speedster at 5'10". Clark launches. No. Matten picks up another rebound. He's got 5 points and 6 boards. And Nwaba. Back to Matten. Matten against a triple team. Gets away. Foul's going to be called. Might be on Damien as Damien apologizes there. Inglis with his first. Kenta Morii back. We got a great one on our hands here. Matten makes that first free throw, increases their lead to 2. A minute 28 before the halftime break. Matten's going to misfire. That's going to be the 3rd miss of the NEOPHOENIX from the line. You can see the way Yoshii and company swarm on defense. Trying to be as physical as they possibly can. Referees have been allowing it. Inside, Kai King scores. We're tied once again, this time at 36. Under a minute to be played. Bounce pass goes to the wrong individual. Morii pushes it forward. Kai King. Mike Kocha will give it back out. Inglis against Nwaba. And back his way in. Little bit of a shove. Not gonna work. Good individual defense once again there by Nwaba. It was a steal and a block already to his name. Difference of about 10 seconds from the game clock and the shot clock. Sasaki will not launch. They gotta make their move though now. Shot clock's down to 3. Another turnover. That's turnover number 10 for the NEOPHOENIX, and he apologizes, saying there wasn't anything there. I should have just taken that shot. 12.6 remaining. San NEOPHOENIX have 3 fouls to use if they want to use it. Let's see how they play these final 12.6. Moody's got to get into the front court quickly. There's a foul, as expected. That's why you want to get into the front court quickly, because if you take your time, the clock runs, and you're not even into your offense yet. Nemoto saying they have 2 more fouls to give. You want to give it when you have somebody going towards the basket. Wow, that is not how you want to play defense in the final 6 seconds. Just too many layups here for the Sana NEOPHOENIX. Look at that. With 2 fouls to give, you allow the opponent to have an easy layup. 2 quarters are done here. And it's a 2-point lead enjoyed by the B-CORSAIRS at 38-36.
BMSG に第1弾アーティストとして所属。音楽のみならずさまざまなフィールドでの活躍が期待されている新進気鋭のラッパー、シンガーソングライターです。
まもなく会場内が暗くなります。ご移動の際にはお足元に十分ご注意ください。
ノベル公演ハーフタイムショー、それでは行ってみましょう。
がっつりでかい声出して盛り上がっていきましょう。よろしく。Hands up! Let's go! Woo! Boy! Boy! Just never gonna doubt, never gonna doubt, make it. Whoa! Whoa! Just never gonna doubt, never gonna doubt. 絶望や恐怖やどうした小さなこの体一つで溢れる幻想を通さないように妥協なくベースアップシェンパポン走り続ける What a love for it don't matter baby matter baby 何か見ようとそんな痛い世界を一世一代の脚本も僕Celestial 기억체도 소리가 슈밍어 Away, kill, love Baby, can't cool the guy that just might not little The money 아침에 태어나 오늘 달리기 You remember that's still not on the night Got me just waiting on the little The money 아침에 태어나 오늘 달리기 I don't make it Yeah That's what love is その度時間のように回復設計でも最初の一つ今日なちょっとあったらちょっとぬるせ嘘の話 一世一代の革命をここから始めよう戦来祝福建設も何千通りの宿命もただ雨切れる夢で待ってるわけな No way 全てひっくり返って Choose myself a little たまに始めた物語に You remember 確かなものを一つだって明日のためにの別の両手俺のために始めた物語 So everybody hands up Whoa, whoa, whoa. Never gonna stop, never gonna stop me, yeah. Whoa, 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 never gonna stop, never gonna stop me, yeah. Just move on, never gonna stop me, yeah. さあそんなもんじゃないだろ横浜文体名古屋どうしたここは戦場だぜ限るゾーンのバリ配置の成長過程加減も知らずけたままの国発見するからでカルマが都外化にテレキャンチェスは不調和な戦列さレイケスなステンレスへの心臓も演説者何回目のメインメンツまた凱旋するテンペスタ味かける善悪もう落としない生存者花の今日はラウマイレット守りたいものだってこの手のひら離れれば壊したいものなんて壊せないものだけどうしようもないほど頭が痛この喧騒かしばけてもまた月なる迷路の中に手招きされるランシェアと影の狭間に触れる心を満たす快楽そんなものはないよくわかってるでもまだ悪魔がささやいたこのゲーム終わりのない共同戦線何かを大事に何かを得よう吐いて捨てるほどある言い訳的マイクとすら邪魔なだけ折り手伝って振り向けば途端に向かい風何千年時も重ねても永遠変わらぬ道の果てうなるその花咲かす振りかざすたんび浮かんだ上下反射する対照的な裏切りの散らす羽飛ぶ鳥のけったしめの良さ君にもあるんでしょう傷つけたくないものThank you 改めて横浜文体調子どうですか B-CORSAIRS のためにももっとでかい声聞かせてくれ正真正銘のホーム戦がっつり全員で最高の勝利に導きましょう最後の1曲俺からがっつり背中を押させてもらうんで皆さんも全身全霊でぶつかってきてください Go B-CORSAIRS undefeated Yo 1, 2やるかやられるか Let's go What Hands up like this Hey hey Woo 解説者評論家その手がしたり顔手がたる成功者とは努力才能運環境地形な決してやめなかったそれだけだ勝ちでなら負けても仕留めんな人と自分の距離とか数えんな欲しいものの数とか数えんな欲しいものの数とか数えんな The conversation the baby I can go back I can go back 一瞬に委ねよJust one more bet 結果でスピッチ証明 マックスだけ完成簡単な気持ちも物足りない Today 睨みつけた頂点重なる準備 OK 土砂降りの中簡単3、2、1この背中で歌う Tonight Everybody Go Go Woo Go Yeahやってもねやったしかっていう文句あるならここまで来いよ余裕負けたことないやつには一生わかんね俺がこの一生にこだわる You 絶叫のステーション So baby I can't go back I can't go back 一瞬に委ねよ Hands up Go Woo Go Yeah To the barn Be cold 掴みを目見た光景結果でスピッツ証明ごめんだって完成簡単な気持ちも物足りない Today 睨みつけた頂点重なる準備 OK 土砂降りの中簡単3、2、1この背中で歌う Tonight Go Hey Thank you
ノベルコアさんありがとうございました。皆さん大きな拍手をお送りください。
Right now, we're taking a look at the numbers there. 41% shooting for the NEOPHOENIX, 54% for the B-CORSAIRS. But look at this, in three-point distance, oh my goodness, only 11% for the B-CORSAIRS, 33%, quite decent for the NEOPHOENIX. That is actually what kept them in the ball game. So you can see the big discrepancy in terms of two-point field goals made for the B-CORSAIRS against the NEOPHOENIX, and then the number of three-point field goals made as compared to the B-CORSAIRS. That really is what evened things off. Not to mention the fact that the Sana NEOPHOENIX also had 6 more free throws. But look at this, 10 turnovers for Sana, just too many. The Yokohama B-CORSAIRS, one of the main reasons why they're up in this ball game is they've taken very good care of the basketball. Look at that big discrepancy there, 32 and 14. Those are the points in the paint. So giving up just too many easy points inside. As we take a look at the leaders here, 13 points for Damien Inglis, 5 rebounds, and he has 4 assists. So he's the leader in every single department for the B-CORSAIRS. For the NEOPHOENIX, 10 points for David Nwaba, 8 rebounds for Nwaba as well. And he also has 4 assists. So Nwaba and Damien Inglis leading things off to their respective squads after 2 periods. We're just about ready to get underway here for the second half, which is promised to be such an exciting affair between the B-CORSAIRS and the NEOPHOENIX. A little bit of a clock issue. That has been settled, and there's going to be another layup here. That has been the primary issue, really, defensively for the Sana NEOPHOENIX. They cannot allow that many layups. They have given up so many. If that's what happens in the playoffs, they're going to get eliminated early. It is back to the basket. Matten scores. He looks over to the referee, says there was a little bit of a push, but again, these three referees have really said, let's allow these players to play today. Spin there. Works. Mike Kotsar, happy to be back. Steal here. Another turnover once again for the boys in white. That's turnover number 11. You can't expect to win in the playoffs with that many turnovers and at the same time allowing just too many easy baskets. Clark falling away. Puts the side of the rim. That's a good rejection from Nwaba. Last line of defense, 0.4 remaining in the shot clock. They almost gave up another layup there. Watch it here. You need something going to the basket, and the shot clock will expire there. Only the third turnover so far here for the B-CORSAIRS. Mike says that was a good pass. Just really ran out of time. Sasaki left wide open. That rims out. That's touched last by Mike. Sasaki couldn't believe he missed that shot. Shot he usually make. Another long inbound. Finds Yoshii. Shot clock's winding down. It's at 4. Matten might lose it. Clark in the open court. Another slam here. Second slam dunk for Gary Clark. He's got 6 points and the lead is at 6. 2 minutes quickly gone here in the third. Spin there from Nwaba. This guy's very agile. Clark saying, I didn't touch him. Watch it in the replay. Well, looking at that replay, it didn't look like he did make contact with the arm. But at the same time, the moment you reach in, you're giving yourself a 50-50 chance against the referees. Nwaba makes the first. Cuts the lead down to 5. He'll make both. Soto Ora will check back in. He already has 8 points in the contest. And the youngster Nemoto back on the floor as well. The 22-year-old late addition here to the NEOPHOENIX roster. They blitz. And they get the steal. Ora, short. But a foul is going to be called there. Despite the fact that Mike had the rebound, it was a box out from Matsuzaki. He was actually holding down Nwaba. Check that, it's Koei Sudo with his third personal. Ora, another 3, comes up with the same result, hitting the front rim. Lead still at 4. Clark will give it up. Matsuzaki will send it to the top. Kotsar flips it up with the left hand. That drops. Mike Kotsar now in double digits. Is that a foul? Lassie is saying it was a turnover. And Waba can't believe it. A little bit of a discussion there between Lassie and David. Third personal foul is going to be called there though on Matsuzaki. And again, they've got 3 personals. Check that, 3 team fouls. In danger of getting into early foul trouble again are the B-CORSAIRS. Matten, offensive rebound, puts it through. It's gonna cut the lead down to 4. Yante Matten screaming at the referee. You've got to be careful. Kickball, they say, for Enwaba. So much has happened here in the opening 3 minutes of the third. Get some more numbers. NEOPHOENIX with 27 boards, 21 for Yokohama. In terms of assists, 17 dimes for the B-CORSAIRS and 11 for the NEOPHOENIX. Clark gets away for 2 on the other side. He's got 8 points and he ups the lead back up to 6. Usually a little bit more potent offensively is this Sanan squad. That's clearly a foul. And that will put them in the penalty with 6:18 still to be played. Wow. First quarter, they got into the penalty with 5:55 remaining. Not that bad in the second, 2:32. But now, 6 minutes and 18 seconds to be in the penalty. Let's see if the NEOPHOENIX can take advantage. They've actually gone to the line 12 times, making 9. On the other side, the B-CORSAIRS have only been to the free throw line twice, making 1. They go inside. Dudzinski will have to bring it out. Nemoto forgot to look up at the clock. It's going to be another shot clock violation here. Defensively, the B-CORSAIRS have been exceptional here this evening. Under 6 minutes to be played here in the third. Inglis goes outside. Clark launches the 3 and hits. 51-42 now is our tally, and this is the biggest lead in the contest for the B-CORSAIRS at 9 as they lead 51-42. Let's see what Coach Atsushi has done here to tweak their offense, but more importantly, they need to be able to come up with something defensively. They just can't seem to stop the B-CORSAIRS here. Nwaba gives it to Dudzinski. Floater will work for David. That'll cut the lead down to 7. See if they can get some stops here though. Inglis should have the advantage inside that paint against David. Morii left wide open. Can't convert though. Past the halfway mark of the third. Can they get into a flow offensively? And Nwaba inside. Misses that layup. It was challenged there by Damien. They go to the wing. Clark not wanting to force it. Being very patient. He's got Sasaki on him. Takeru, yes! Good recognition once again by the guards. Looking and seeing where there's a mismatch, and if they have an open teammate, quickly. And Nwaba scores inside. Quickly cutting that lead. Back down to 8. Again, everything starts from inside. Timely cuts here. Has really worked out for the B-CORSAIRS. They spread the floor back up high, and then a cut from the guards. Takeru will be fouled. Watch it here. Late reaction from Sasaki. 2 free throws now for Takeru. Matsuya in. Obas first, cleans the rim and goes down. Looking to bring his squad another 10-point lead with under 4 to play in the third. Split from the line. So now the B-CORSAIRS, total of 2 out of 4. Leads at 9 though. Dudzinski will misfire. Trying to push it forward. Kai King splits the double. Takeru Oba left wide open once again. Bang! The lead is 12. For the home squad, 9 points off the bench here for Takeru. They can't do anything offensively and even defensively. Seems like it's 5-on-4 every single time down the floor, and hitting there is Ora. He's got 10 points. Let's see what they can do on the defensive end. Inglis finds Takeru. Inglis realizes the shot clock winding down, puts up another 3. Kai King able to get to that long rebound, and he'll be fouled. Ora will pick up his second personal foul, only the second team foul though for the NEOPHOENIX. Check that, only his first. So the foul a while ago, early in the ball game, was given to Sasaki. Yoshii back. He has not been as effective as he usually is for Coach Ono. Sasaki also on the floor again. Sudo a starter, reinserted into the lineup by Coach Tuovi. Kai King will have to give it out. Takeru. That was a heat check. Just short. Good line. Sasaki all the way, but misses the layup. That's the second layup in traffic that has not gone down. Inglis will bring it all the way and miss a layup as well. So many missed opportunities by both these squads. Under 2 minutes. Here in the third, pocket pass. Matten will score. 12 points now for Yante. Coach Lassie likes what he's seeing here so far. Oba to the bench. He has done his job. Murii back. And the one to speed things up and at the same time to make sure that that ball really moves from side to side. Oba is one of those catch and shoot kind of players. But he's done his job, as we mentioned. Now an 8-point lead still here by Yokohama. And the NEOPHOENIX have really been struggling. That's why they're in a 3-game slide. Chance for them here. Yoshii finishes. (58-52). Approaching the 1-minute mark of the third. And the NEOPHOENIX holding their own. That is going to be another turnover. Turnover number 5. Matten trying to force the issue against a double. Ball will still stay on this end. The NEOPHOENIX have not been able to take advantage of the foul trouble that the B-CORSAIRS have put themselves in. Almost a steal. And they're going to say there's a kick ball from Matten. Watch that last piece of action. Nope, it's not going to be a kick ball. It's going to be a foul on Yante. His first. Active hands there from Mike. He's just happy to be back on the floor. He's been watching from the sidelines for the last 5-6 games. Inglis. That's a great bounce pass. Finds Kotsar. Just camping out inside. Kotsar now with 12 points and the lead is back up to 8. 7-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Sanin still taking their time. They kick it out. Open 3, Dudzinski. That's his specialty. Yes! You gotta get it inbounds quickly. Game clock's running. That would have counted, but that's how we're gonna end third quarter hostilities. A solid third period put together by the B-CORSAIRS, scoring 22 points as compared to the 19 of the San NEOPHOENIX, and they lead by 5 heading into the fourth and final period.
第3クォーターまで3円ネオフェニックスに55点とディフェンスで奮闘を見せる我らが海賊たち横浜ビートルセア
Fourth period is upon us here as we welcome everybody back to the Yokohama Buntai, our venue here tonight, with the B-CORSAIRS hosting the NEOPHOENIX. The NEOPHOENIX with the second best record in the league so far. But tonight, it's not looking quite like so. Yoshii scores, cuts the lead down to 3. The San NEOPHOENIX need to make their move as early as they possibly can here in the fourth. They've been trailing majority of this ball game. Clark puts up a 3. Yes! Lead is back up to 6. Every time the San NEOPHOENIX have come close, the B-CORSAIRS have had an answer. Goes to a backcourt violation there. Coach Lassie not happy with an uncall. Trying to get another 3. Yes! That works there for Kazuma. That's Chuya's second hit from the outside. That cuts the lead in half. Mike, sudden change of direction. Can't get that to drop though. Chance for Sanden to come even closer. Maybe tie things up with a 3. And Raba. Dudzinski looking to tie things up. And Raba got up there ahead of everybody else and got fouled on the way down as he's holding on to that left wrist. Watch it here. Coming out. Getting fouled. And he fell on that wrist of his. Fourth personal foul on Sudo as he went over to apologize. First team foul for Yokohama. Oh, the chance of defense has just gotten louder here at the Buntai. And Raba trying to get it closer. That's great defense from Clark. Good anticipation, but he's going to lose it. Gets his pocket picked, and Dudzinski scores. The lead's down to 1. The crowd reacting to the non-call, but again, that has been what the referees have been allowing the entire evening. You've got to play stronger. Second personal foul on Yoshii. And again, they continue to talk to the referees. By the fourth quarter, you have to have adjusted. If not, you're in big trouble. Sudo playing on borrowed time. Gets it to Clark, but Clark will mishandle that one. Acknowledges the pass. Some pressure in the backcourt here. Now Order will bring it down. Up against Mike. And then they call everybody down. Tudzinski. Will get denied. That was a forced shot. Kotsar. Matsuzaki didn't want to launch. Clark will, but will miss. Yoshii, bailout pass. Finds Chuya. Back to Kazuma. Another three. Why not? We are deadlocked. That was a long one. And so it's going to be a 2-point lead right now. Coach Lasituobi says, we need to talk things over. Two-point lead now by the San NEOPHOENIX. Can they hold on to the lead? Nope, we're tied once again. This time at 65. Our 7th deadlock of the evening. We're gonna have an exciting finish here tonight. Kazuma tries to lob it inside. Denied. Another turnover. Turnover number 18. Ora will give up a foul. That's his second. Turnover story, 9 for the B-CORSAIRS, 18 for the NEOPHOENIX. It's a wonder that we are tied at 65 after just too many miscues. Nemoto back in. He's getting a lot of burn here from Coach Ono. There's the turnover. 3-on-1 break. Ora can't finish. But Nwaba says, this is 2 points my way. Nwaba there with a nice smile, saying the ball got to him. He took it and shot it. But there was no inbound yet. Now ready to go. Inglis back in. Not quite sure why you want to foul in the backcourt. That's a very poor foul from Nemoto. And that will put his team with 3 team fouls. And a lot of time still remaining here in the final quarter. Muri finds English. English from 17 feet, a little bit too strong. Matten in the ball game. Here for the final stretch. Together with Nwaba. They try to look inside. And the duty foul stops the action. Second team foul going to be called on the B-CORSAIRS. No quick shot. A lot of time still on the shot clock. Yoshi goes up high. Shot clock down to 4. The tap will go to David. They'll use clock again. Ora, quick shot. And it'll drop. That's a 3. 13 points for Sota. And this 70-65 lead matches their early one at 35-30. And the NEOPHOENIX trying to make a move at the right time. They've been waiting this entire evening to pull ahead. Morii comes up short. They're playing 5-on-4 now. Ora puts up a quick one, yes! "16 points for Sota, and it's now an 8-point advantage for the visitors at 73-65. Badly needed timeout there from Coach Lassie Tuovi. Suddenly, they're facing an 8-point deficit. Kai King back in the ballgame. So is Matsuzaki. Takeru in as well, but he's gonna lose it. 2-on-1 break on the other end. And Ora scores. He has had their last 8 points. And the lead's 10, 75-65. The B-CORSAIRS are falling apart at the seams. Inglis against a double. Can't kiss it off properly. Using the bank shot. And the visitors are looking to add to their lead. Using a lot of time. Shot clock. Down to 4. Ora realizes it, forces it up. And he'll be fouled there by Kai King. 3 free throws coming here for Sota. He has done everything offensively for his squad. That's a poor challenge from Kai King. There was no way he was getting around that pick. Just give him the 3-point shot. If it goes down, it goes down. But now you're giving him 3 shots. And Sota has been on fire here in the final minute and a half. So you expect him to make these free throws. as they increase their lead once again. Second coming up. 3-3-3. The time remaining. Ooh, a miss here from Sota. That was unexpected. Coach Ono couldn't believe it. One more coming his way as you see the fans of the NEOPHOENIX. A lot of them have traveled here to the Yokohama Buntai. And leads 12. 20 points now. What a game from Sota Ora. He's had 10 of those 20 here in the payoff period. Inglis gets away, but they're still down by 7. Check that, they're down by 10, 77-67. Approaching the 3-minute mark. Enoaba. Sasaki. His pass a little bit behind Yoshii. The B-CORSAIRS need to score here. They need to convert off this turnover. Back to Inglis. Inglis against Enoaba. Open 3. Takeru scores. That's going to bring the lead down to 7. And Coach Atsushi says, let's stop the momentum of the home squad now with a timeout. Trying to put this game away here with a basket here. It's a big possibility. Nwaba puts up a 3. That rims out. Yante got the inside track and nothing Damien could do but foul him. So just a loose ball foul, no free throws, but that will put Yokohama now in the penalty once again. They get it inside. Matin working on a brand new 14 seconds. Sasaki, Yante. Yoshii puts it up and through. That was a well-run play. And the lead is back up to 9 as we breach the final 2 minutes. The twilight zone of this encounter between Sanen and Yokohama. Lead pass. No one was there. Takeru was trailing towards the corner, but the pass was just a little early. That might be the costliest of the turnovers they've had here. 12 turnovers for the B-CORSAIRS. And that final one just might have done it. Especially if Sanem scores here. The youngster, a little bit too strong. He's gonna track it back. Nemoto will hold on to it here. They're gonna use precious seconds. Kai King will be called for a foul, holding on to Sasaki. And with these two free throws, that should seal the deal. Good positioning there from Nemoto. Actually, it was also a very good shot. Straight and true. It's a little bit too strong. But Aura will come in for the youngster. Today's hero. Not to mention the fact that Coach Ono wants to have an experienced backcourt here for the final minute and 25. To make it an even 10. 80 to 70. B-CORSAIRS need a quick basket here. Whether a 2 or a 3, they need to score and then come up with a stop. Kai King converts, and that's going to be a 3-point play off a foul from Sasaki. Talk about holding and keeping your composure. Watch it here. Amidst all that pressure from Sasaki. Gets up, stays in the air just long enough, and he dropped it here. Both teams now in the penalty. Important free throw coming from Kai King. Kai King flips it up. That would have been crucial. Even the putback there. Finally, Mike Kotsar says, I've got a bucket. We've cut the lead down to 6. They're back in the ball game here with that 4-point play. And Waba will hold on to this one. Just when it looked like it was smooth sailing for Matin and company. And Waba comes up short. Oh, that's gonna hurt. They couldn't clear. And more seconds to burn here. It's down to 3. Sota, long rebound? No. Clark goes to Mike. Mike will cut that down just to 4 points. They're gonna have to foul here though. Especially now that it's in the front court. They're not fouling. Just too many seconds went off there. They had to foul. They had to make it obvious. And the referees allowed them to play on. 80 to 76 is our tally. 2 free throws coming up here for the San NEOPHOENIX. It's a 2-possession ball game. Trying to get the lead to 6. Not too much pressure there in the free throw. Even on this one, they're still up by 2 possessions. Time down to 16.3. Expect a timeout to be called by Yokohama here, as they will look to advance the ball to the half court. And there's a timeout. 5-point lead enjoyed here by the San NEOPHOENIX at 81 to 76.
残り16秒差、何度となく逆境を跳ね返してきた海賊たち。さあこの残り時間で逆転に向けて選手たちに、海賊たちにパワーをフラップで届けよう。ファッファさあさらに戦っていこう。今度はゴーゴービート、この声を送っていこう。ゴーゴービート。フロントコートにスタートを選択。ゴーゴービート。さあ横浜のホリー、大場健が入りました。
Needing a quick basket here. They put up a three. Back rim, long rebound. That's touched last by Ora. The possession will still stay here with the B-CORSAIRS. Time down to 10.6. Clark in for more firepower from the outside. Brzezinski, a much better perimeter defender, is in as well for the NEOPHOENIX. Inglis, quick three, and he got fouled in the process. That was very close to a 4-point play. Coach Ono shaking his head in disbelief. There was clearly contact there from Brzezinski. Why do you need to stay that close when you're up by 5? Brzezinski with his first personal. Chance to get this down to a one-possession game. 3 crucial free throws. The first for Damian. Rims out. Ouch. 2 more coming his way. Still a chance to cut it down to a one-possession affair. He misses again. You can see Coach Ono getting ready to call a timeout to run a play. But he might not have to call a timeout anymore. They're still up by 5. Could be 4 here if he makes this free throw. If finally gets it to drop. And now a timeout for the San NEOPHOENIX. All they need to do is get it in and expect a foul. Almost a turnover. There's the foul. But a lot of precious seconds were lost in the process. They should have fouled. That is the most important right now, is the clock. Now it's down to 3 seconds. And it's still a 2-possession affair. For additional insurance, Ora makes the first. Even if he misses these 2 free throws, essentially a 1-ball game already for the NEOPHOENIX. Smart play. As Coach Ono said, missed the second free throw to give them no chance to call a timeout and advance. That's what Sota did. And the San NEOPHOENIX will escape after trailing majority of this ball game. They will win this one by 5, 82-77. Don't go away. We're going to hear from Coach Atsushi Ono and possibly Sota Ora. It was close. The B-CORSAIRS did everything they possibly could, but they yielded a 10-point difference in the 4th period. And the experience of Sanen really just came to play here. You can see that 27-17, that's a huge difference in the payoff period. As they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And the San NEOPHOENIX will pick up win number 45 here tonight.
B1 中地区優勝セレモニーを行います。しばらくお待ちください。
So with the victory here, officially, the San NEOPHOENIX are the Central Division champions. And the ceremony will start in a bit.
それではただいまよりリソナグループ B リーグ2024-25シーズンサンエンネオフェニックス B1 中地区優勝セレモニーを行います。サンエンネオフェニックスの選手チームスタッフの皆さんはコートにご整列ください。B1 中地区優勝サンエンネオフェニックス。それではまずプライズボードの贈呈です。キャプテン佐々木隆星選手はコート中央へお願いします。 プレゼンターは神奈川県バスケットボール協会理事滝沢孝之様、お願いいたします。それではフォトセッションです。ありがとうございました。続いて地区優勝プレートの造形です。地区優勝プレートの贈呈はバイスキャプテン大浦颯太選手、コート中央へお願いします。プレゼンターは引き続き滝沢様です。お願いいたします。それではフォトセッションです。滝沢様、ありがとうございました。それでは最後に選手、チーム、スタッフの皆さんのフォトセッションを行います。皆さんコート中央にお集まりください。3円ネオフェニックス B1 中地区優勝おめでとうございます。中地区の代表としてチャンピオンシップも頑張ってください。以上でリソナグループ B リーグ2024-25シーズン3円ネオフェニックス B1 中地区優勝セレモニーを終了します。
入したくなくてすいません。
Without the victory, they might not have been able to get this. This is the official ceremony declaring the San NEOPHOENIX as a Central Division champions. It was really tough. They were trailing majority of this game, but in the end, they would get it here at the Yokohama Buntai. That's exactly what Yokohama didn't want to happen. They didn't want to let it happen on their floor, but they just couldn't stop this onslaught of the San NEOPHOENIX in the fourth period. Stick around, we're going to have interviews. And then the highlights, of course, before we call it a coverage.
はい、見事中地区地区優勝を決めましたサンエネオフェニックス大野敦ヘッドコーチです。コーチ、だいぶファンブースターを待たせてしまいましたが見事地区優勝を決めました。今の気持ち聞かせてください。
そうですね、ちょっと時間がかかりましたけど、中地区優勝を決めれて嬉しく思いますし、横浜さんのブースターさん皆さんも挨拶も待っていただいて自分たちのところの時間を割いてくれたので本当に感謝してます。
今日は優勝を決めた後会場にいるファンブースターを呼びかけて大野ヘッドコーチ自らみんなで写真撮ろうというようなシーンも見受けられたんですけども、やっぱアウェーですけど今日もたくさんのファンブースターの皆さん来てくれました。景色どうでしたか？
はい、本当に多くの企業の皆さんにスポンサーしていただいて、でまた地域の皆さんに応援していただいて、またいい時も悪い時も自分たちの背中を押してくれたブーサさんがいなければこの優勝なかったと思いますし、皆さんのために一つ結果が残せて、まずはほっとしてます。
今日はホームタウンでパブリックビューイング、おそらく大勢の方が今この中地区優勝を喜んでいると思います。メッセージお願いできますか。
はい、本当はホームでね決めたかったんですけど、パブリックで見ていただいている皆さんだけではなくて、自分たち今すごい大変なこともたくさんあって心が折れそうになった時期もありましたけど、自分たちの心を奮い立たせてくれたのは本当にブーサさんの皆さんの力強い声援だったので、また CS も皆さんのために自分たちができる限りのベストを尽くして戦っていきたいと思います。
ありがとうございます。見事中地区優勝を決めました大野敦ヘッドコーチでした。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
That group of fans are very happy, and why not? They're the fans of the San NEOPHOENIX that have traveled here to the Yokohama Buntai to cheer on their squad, and they wanted nothing less than a victory, and at the same time they wanted to see the ceremony which declared them as a Central Conference
続きま
champions.
して今日のヒーロー大浦颯太選手です。大浦選手、だいぶファンブースター待たせちゃいましたけども、やっと中地区優勝を決めました。今の気持ち聞かせてください。
そうですね、初めての今シーズン3連敗ということで、すごく自分たちももがきながら、戦ってましたけど、ようやく地区優勝を決めたっていうのはすごく良かったですし、これは通過点に過ぎないと思うので、まだまだこれに慢心せず、もっともっと上を目指して頑張りたいと思います。勝負どころ、クラッチタイムと言われる時間帯で一気にキラースコアラー、スリーポイントで、ピーコルをから勝利をもぎ取るような時間帯作りました。シーン振り返っていただけますか。 そうですね、もう本当にどんな手を使ってでもというか、本当にすごく勝利が欲しかったので、もう強い気持ちで、僕自身の持ち味であるところで一生懸命プレーした結果がついてきてよかったかなと思います。
あと浦選手、今日はベンチからのメンバー、根本選手だったり、普段なかなかチャンスない選手もこの終盤戦で貢献してくれました。そのあたりの大浦選手から見た印象を教えてください。
そうですね、若い選手がこうやって、僕もそこまで調子は取ってないですけど、若い選手がこうやってエナジーを出してくれることによって、僕たち自身ももっともっとエナジーを出して戦わないといけないと思わせてくれますし、そういったところですごくチームにいい勢いをもたらしてくれたかなと思います。
そして大浦選手、今日はベンチ裏、今日水曜日のナイトゲームアウェーですけども、真っ赤にサンエネオフェニックスのファンブースの皆さん来てくれてました。景色見てどうでしたか。
本当に待たせたなという感じで、本当はホームで決めたかったんですけど、こうやってアウェーの地まで駆けつけてくれて、皆さんが喜んでもらえる姿が見れたことがすごく嬉しいです。
あとは今日ホームタウンでのパブリックビューイング、そして全国のサンエネオフェニックスファン、ブースターの皆さんがこの中地区優勝を喜んでいると思います。大浦選手、最後メッセージお願いします。
今日も応援ありがとうございました。もっとたくさんの方に会場に来ていただいてホームで決めたかったんですけど、アウェーで決めることはまずでも地区優勝ができたことは良かったですし、皆さんが喜んでいる顔だったり姿を見れることが僕たちも励みになりますので、これからまだまだCS に向けてシーズン続きますので、引き続き応援のほどよろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。見事中地区優勝を決めました大浦颯太選手でした。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
As you're enjoying the highlights, of this match that just finished. Let's go through the interviews. Actually, Coach Atsushi Ono was very brief. He just really thanked the fans, and he said he was very happy to have gotten the championship here today. At least that's out of the picture. Not to mention the fact that, remember, they were in a 3-game losing skid. So they snapped the 3-game slide, and at the same time, they officially got the Central Conference title. He also finished by saying, the young players fought till the very end, and they gave us that momentum. And he was definitely talking about Dai Nemoto, the 22-year-old who was a new addition to this squad. And he said, we're going to try our very best to get the B-League championship for all the fans. So please, keep on fighting for us. Nice basket inside there for Nwaba. Look at that, meeting him at the top. Gary Clark there with a block. A lot of great defensive plays, and on the other end, comes up with a slam. A tremendous outing here for Gary Clark on both ends, but unfortunately for him and the B-CORSAIRS, they're gonna fall short. Asota Ora found his range early, and he continued, especially in the fourth quarter. But here, questionable defense really in the first 3 periods for the Sanda NEOPHOENIX, as they gave away just too many layups. There's another one as we began the 3rd period. First quarter ended in favor of Yokohama, 23-19. And at the half, it is a 2-point advantage for the B-CORSAIRS at 38-36. And then Takeru Oba and company found their range, and they opened up a huge 12-point lead here in the 3rd, to the delight of their fans here at the Yokohama Buntai. They were looking for a major upset of the Sanda NEOPHOENIX, who are their conference leaders. Dudzinski would hit a 3 there, and that was the start of their comeback. After being down by 12 at 58-46, they continued to plug away, plug away, plug away. And at the end of 3 periods, it was cut down to just a 5-point affair, 60-55, but still in favor of the B-CORSAIRS. And then in the 4th, Kazuma Tsuya would find his range. A lot of turnovers. And a big slam there for David Nwaba. They would tie things up at 65. And then, after that 65-all deadlock, an explosion by the NEOPHOENIX. There's another 3 from Sota. They would extend their lead to 8 at 73-65, and eventually they would have a 12-point lead at 77-65, and they would not look back. Yoshii there with a good cut and basket, and there, smart play from Sota to just make sure it was short. No chance for Lasituovi to call a timeout. And that will end this ball game. And there, the awarding ceremonies, which declared them the Central Conference champions. Now we have the numbers. The B-CORSAIRS shooting much better from 2 at 53% as compared to 51%. Very small difference, but they had a whole lot more 2s. As you can see there, 28 conversions as compared to just 19 for the NEOPHOENIX. But they made it up in 3-point shooting. Shooting 35%, hitting 4 more 3s. But the big difference was the 11 free throws that they gave up. The B-CORSAIRS were almost always in the penalty. And when I say almost always, they're almost always in the penalty early. In the first period, they got into penalty with 5:55 remaining. In the third period, they got into the penalty with still 6:18. They gave up 21 free throws, 14 of which was made, and that's a huge difference. The NEOPHOENIX made this a little interesting because of their 18 turnovers. But the Yokohama B-CORSAIRS, who took good care of the basketball in the first two periods, came up with just too many turnovers here in the second half. Our leaders, 16 points here for Damien Inglis. Clark with 8 boards, and Inglis would finish with 8 assists. For the winning squad, the Central Conference champions, Sota Ora, would finish with 21 points, 11 rebounds for Yante Maten, and 6 assists for David Nwaba. A total team effort here for the San NEOPHOENIX here tonight. And there you see the bracket for the B-League Championship for 2024-2025. And the San NEOPHOENIX have a first-round matchup against Seahorses Mikawa. And essentially, the brackets are full. So we're all set for the B-League Championship, which begins in about a week and a half. And that's going to do it for our coverage. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us here this Wednesday evening. Till next time, take care. Have a good week ahead. God bless.